Well, there she is in all of her glory. I am still getting used to it, but as of right now, it's set at 80 pounds. The limb's cracked. It's 80, actually 80.2. It's a little over 80, not much over 80, but just like a little over 80. It's maxed in all the way. The way I have it set up right now, I am shooting PS 26s at 29 inches, and I am shooting 425 grains at 300 feet per second with a 7-inch brace height. I'm shooting 50 yards with it down there at the old deer, and yeah, hitting bullseyes. So that's awesome. Like 80 pounds with it doesn't really feel that bad. I can remember when I had my Matthews set at 75 pounds, and it just felt like, good Lord, that's just too much. Like, it was just so much back into it. I should get a video of me drawing the bow back. Like, it's really, I'm telling you, it's not that bad. Like, everybody's like, oh, you don't need 80 pounds. You don't need 80 pounds. Like, the same people say, there's lots of other people say, you don't need 70 pounds. You don't need, and just many people say, you don't need 60 pounds. You can shoot them bows at 50 pounds. You can shoot them at 50 pounds. Yeah, there's lots of recurve guys that shoot them at 32, and lots of spear guys that throw them whatever the hell they got. So shoot what you want to shoot. Don't let anybody influence you on what you want to shoot. You want to shoot an 80-pound bow, shoot an 80-pound bow. I wanted it because I've never had an 80-pound bow, and if Athens was going to offer it in 80 pounds, I wanted to try it in 80 pounds. Because believe it or not, if I don't like it, I can buy new limbs. Because I can afford to buy new limbs if I want to. They're not that much. So if I don't like it at 80 pounds, I'll buy new limbs. It's all good. It's all good. I like it at 80 pounds. I cranked it down to, I took 3 turns out of it and got it down to 73 pounds at 3 turns out of the top and the bottom. And that felt really good. I actually had every intention on shooting this past Sunday in Harrisburg with it, and my eye screwed up on me again. If anybody's been following me along knows that I've been having issues with my eyes. So I had a really bad sinus infection that messed with my eyes, and after shooting indoor paper for a while, my eyes start to burn. I don't know why. I guess I need to see a doctor, but I'm trying not to see a doctor. Shooting outside doesn't seem to bother it, but I'm not sitting here shooting 3 arrows. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm out here trying to group tune and everything, but like, I'm not focusing in on a little yellow dot. And as long as I don't turn my light on and stuff, like indoor, I didn't think it bothered me unless I turned my light on. But at the end of the day, it still ended up bothering me. I don't know why. But anyhow, shooting outside so far hasn't seemed to bother me. So, fully's in, we're leaving here in a week. So, week and a few days, like 10 days. So, I got my green bows ready to go. That's my ASA bow. This is my IBO bow. Anything that I don't have to have a speed limit on, this is my guy. This is what I'm going for. At least that's the plan as of right now. I'm kind of excited to shoot it in the IBO and see how we do with it. But I'm shooting these 26s with screw-in points in the hunter class. I think I can shoot these in the hunter class. I think the hunter class says you can shoot any arrow you want to as long as you have screw-in points. So I have screw-in points. Should be fine. 300 feet per second. That's getting it. Yeah. So let me see if I can draw this. I'm going to see if I can set my phone up here. You guys can watch me draw it a few times at 80 pounds. See, hang on. Alright, you guys should be able to see me there. Alright, I don't need to shoot 2 arrows. I'm not Robin Hood. This is only a 30-yard shot. No, only, 30-yard shot, 80-pound bow. Bullseye. Damn, something loose. Of course something would be loose when I try to shoot it. It's usually how it goes, right? This sight's always been loud. I don't know why this sight's always loud. I think that's what it was. I think it was just a sight. Shoot it again. I don't know if it sounded loud to you guys or not, but I heard it. Sounded like it could have been even a mod a little loose. Doesn't take much, even my peep. I don't know. I don't know if it sounds loud to you guys or not, but I don't know what the hell. This sight's always loud. I don't know why this sight has always been loud for me. Seems to be loose. I don't know, now that I'm trying to pay attention to the sound. And I got target bars on too. No rubber on the stabilizer, so that probably doesn't help nothing. Slamming them down there. I do like the bow. I don't know if you can see how I'm drawing it or not, but like, I shoot it really well. I like it like this. Real slow, see. Letting it down. There, to come back. Then coming down. It's an 80-pound bow, guys. Doesn't feel like an 80-pound bow, at least not to me. I know that, like, maybe not everybody could draw it like that, but it doesn't bother me. Ooh, unless the arrow falls off, then it bothers the hell out of me. Let's hit my arrow. I'm hitting a little high down there. The bow needs broken in. I really haven't shot it that much yet. It's getting there. It's getting broken in. I'm gonna aim beside them so I don't blow up one of my arrows. Yeah, something seems a little loud. I don't know what it is, but this sight always seems a little loud. Yeah, something with this sight. I don't know what it is about this sight. This sight, like, you can rock it back and forth. This sight has always been loud. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. I don't know. But regardless, sure does shoot nice. I don't know if you can hear. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but you know, it wasn't really for the sound. I wanted you guys to see the draw cycle and everything. So yeah. Even my elevate seems a little loud until I put a good stabilizer on it for whatever reason. Last year it was really loud because I was shooting like 72 pounds with a 350 grain arrow. Like, even right now I'm shooting 80 pounds with a 425 grain arrow, so 300 feet per second. Like, this is not a hunting bow. I mean, you could shoot as a hunting bow. With a hunting bow, you'd have hunting stabilizers, and you'd have hunting stabilizers, and you know, probably a little heavier arrow. But here's my group. Shot a couple high, and I shot this. Remember, this is when I said I'm gonna shoot a little left. I'm definitely a little high at 30 yards. Put 2 in the 11 ring. So yeah, that's the bow. It's been fun to shoot. Like, I can't tell you how many people said, oh, 80 pounds is crazy. I've had so many people say, oh, you don't need 80 pounds, you don't need 80 pounds, you don't need 80 pounds. That's my choice, right? Like, if I want to shoot 80 pounds, I'm going to shoot 80 pounds. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that I could get that bow to shoot 300 feet per second with 70 pounds too. There's no doubt in my mind. I just have to switch arrows up. I'd probably have to shoot a light 23. I'd have to drop it down to 70 pounds and get a 350 spine PS 23 and shoot 85 grains out of the front of it, and I might be able to get 300 feet per second out. Maybe a little faster than that. I don't know. It's hard to say for sure. to each their own. This is just what I want to shoot, and yeah, I don't have to explain that to anybody, but that's why. So yeah, having lots of fun learning this bow. One thing I have not got to mess with yet is moving the cams back and forth. I tried to turn them, and that's the locking screw in there. I'm afraid I'm going to break something, so I got it to tune without moving the cams left and right just fine. And I'm going to take it up to that old average jack and have him play with it a little bit. I couldn't really get him to move, and I'm scared I'm going to break something, so I just, you know, I don't want to break it. I don't want to screw it up. And the bow's shooting just fine the way it is right now. If I was going to put a broadhead on the front of it, then I might have to be a little concerned, because if I needed to move the cam to the left or to the right, if I had to shim it one way or another, I don't think it still ain't a big issue. I could make it work one way or another. And I'm sure old Nate Seller's average jack will figure it out for me. So yeah, not worried about it. Peace and love, y'all. 80-pound bow. I'm only planning on shooting this bow for like the IBO unknown stuff. The unknown IBO, and then maybe some other stuff if I get into it. I don't know. It's just a bow I bought for fun. And yeah, like next year I might get into more IBO stuff next year. So I don't know. Just something I want to try around and play around with. And if I like the bow enough, and then I decide that I want to put a set of 70-pound limbs on it and go shoot the ASA with it, I might do that too, because I enjoy shooting it. But I enjoy shooting my green bow so much, and it has 70-pound limbs on it. And I was shooting it today, shooting it through a chronograph. I just got a chronograph. I feel like my chronograph is pretty damn close. But I was shooting it, and it's shooting 66 pounds, and my arrows weigh 466, and I'm shooting them at 260 feet per second. I was like, man, that is really freaking slow. And I talked to my buddy Kel Weathersby at Beeline Bowstrings, and he said his ASA bow is only 260. He's like, don't sweat it, don't sweat it. I'm shooting pins 30, so I should be all right. Should be all right. So we'll see what happens. Can't wait. Foley's 10 days. Let's go. I'm still very new to this stuff. I barely have a year of it underneath my belt. I don't even have a year of competing in 3D under my belt yet. My first ever 3D competition I ever shot in was in April last year. So I'm very, very new to the sport, and I'm trying to learn. I took 14th in the IBO Hunter class last year, which I was pretty okay with that, considering it was only my second time ever on a course without a rangefinder. So, and that was with my Matthews that I didn't shoot very well. Like, I shot it okay, but it was fast. Like, it was wicked fast. And like the arrow setup I had for it was a fast setup. Like, I think it was, I want to say it was shooting like 308, 306, something like that. And it was a weird aggressive that I just could never get used to. Like, I just could never get used to that bow. And I don't know, maybe the 80 pounds will end up being too much for me, and I won't like it either. I just got to get out and shoot it and see how it feels. But all right, everybody, peace and love. Like and subscribe. Peace, y'all.